This podcast is co-created and co-produced by the Food Allergy Institute and the 12 Company. Listeners should know that the podcast host, Lesley-Anne Stone, is not a physician nor a licensed medical professional, and the purpose of this podcast is strictly limited to storytelling. Any content shared within the podcast is not intended to be medical advice and should not be used for diagnosis or treatment purposes. All listeners are urged to consult their healthcare providers. The creators, hosts, and guests of this podcast are not liable for any decisions or actions taken by any persons who claim to rely upon the content of this podcast. Hi, I'm Lesley-Anne Stone, and this is Resilience and Hope, a Food Allergy Podcast. This is our Season 2 premiere. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome back to the show. I am thrilled to introduce you to our Season 2 premiere guest. She is a fan favorite from Season 1. This is my therapist, Lesley Lasker. Yay!
Oh, thank you for having me. I am honored to be your kickoff episode. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I am thrilled that you're here in person in Long Beach at the Food Allergy Institute. Yeah. You were so special and important to our listeners. You helped a lot of people out there, and we got a lot of positive feedback from your episode. And we also got a lot of questions based off of our episode. So Season 2 is going to be all about answering the questions we received from our listeners in Season 1.
I love that.
So I would like a lot of that to be discussed today in our episode and set the tone and set the theme and the mood for Season 2. So let's just dive right into it. PTSD. It is discussed a lot among food allergy parents behind closed doors. But PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is very real after you've witnessed your child going through a life-threatening food allergy reaction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you talk about what exactly is PTSD and what can be done from a therapeutic standpoint to process that or to deal with it?
When a person is experiencing a trauma, as you did and your listeners most likely have, in that moment, your body, your emotions, your senses, everything is heightened. And so in that moment, you're not able to really process what's going on.
You're just moving.
You're just moving. You're just trying to survive, to keep your child alive, to get to a hospital, to do what you need to do to keep your child alive. And so you're not processing what's happening. But those heightened feelings, you're not feeling them in the moment. You're just moving. You're just full speed ahead, keep my kid alive. But there's all these feelings that are happening at that time. And those feelings don't just disappear. They don't go away. They get stored in the body. So then at a later date, when something happens, a trigger, your body immediately responds spontaneously saying, I know this. I've felt this. I've seen this. I've been here before. And that anxiety comes really quick, really fast. And that's the PTSD.
And it could be paralyzing.
Absolutely. It's fight or flight, right? So
I'm feeling it just thinking about it.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. Take a breath, right? Because when you see something, you experience something, and that moment of trauma comes back to you, your body spontaneously responds. You're back there at that initial moment, at that time when the initial trauma happened. And so if you don't get help for it, it just repeats itself over and over and over again every time you experience something that mimics that trauma.
That triggers it.
The trigger. Exactly.
So yeah, I can feel it again.
You can. What are you seeing? What are you picturing? What's happening in there?
If I'm going to be honest with you, this is something that we discussed in Season 1 too. It's come up. My mother passed 2.5 years ago from brain cancer. And at the end, we had to put her on hospice. Right. And it was very traumatic. And we talked about this in therapy. And I have a very dear friend whose parent is on hospice. and was talking to my sister about it.
Yeah.
And you can go right back there. It's amazing how you
Yeah.
can just go. And the weird thing is, Lesley,
Yeah.
because with grief and processing all of that trauma around my mother's passing, I also am okay going back there.
Yeah.
Like I'm back there with love,
Mm.
but I can feel it. And 2.5 years later, it's wild how you can go right back into that moment.
That's your body's heightened response goes right back to that place. And you start to feel the trauma again all over in your body. You know, it needs to be processed because it's going to keep happening over and over again. You know, you are incredibly resilient.
I don't think
You
of
do.
myself as resilient at
Yeah,
all. I think
it's
of
so
myself as a
interesting.
bulldozer. People
Yeah.
throughout my entire life have told me this, that I'm a bulldozer. I power through. Like if there's a medical emergency, I am the perfect person to be witnessing it because I will help you. We will get through the emergency
Yeah.
together. Like I am just a bulldozer, but I don't think of myself as resilient. I think of myself as somebody who gets it done. We've talked
Yeah.
about this. Like I
Yeah.
will get the job done.
Absolutely. But resilience is being able to go through something really tough, something challenging, and get to the other side of it and be okay. And that's what you do time and time and time again throughout your life. And so it's this balance between vulnerability, being able to feel feelings and connect to your feelings, but also having courage, which you do. Because you have courage, because you bulldoze through it. You're strong and you're capable. And so that's what resilience is. And that's what you have. That's just the stuff that you are made of.
Thank you. I had no choice.
I guess I disagree with that. Because you do have a choice. You could curl up in a ball and not push through.
Well, you've helped me a lot through that. So thank you. And through cognitive behavior therapy and with the help, to be very transparent with my listeners, with the help of medication, I've gotten on anti-anxiety.
Yeah.
So let's talk about both. I know you're not an MD. You did not prescribe the medications. Let's talk about what is cognitive behavior therapy and how does that help with PTSD?
Those feelings and those memories are stored inside your body, right? And they get triggered in different moments. I mean, today, just in our conversation, you've been triggered a couple times. What happens in cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is that in a safe place, we slowly, compassionately reprocess those thoughts. So let's just say like an ambulance, right? When you see an ambulance, you get triggered very often.
I do. When I hear it and see it, yes, very much so. Yeah.
And what we do in therapy is we talk about that day when you had to take your son in an ambulance and how you were in such a heightened state, right? Those feelings, that fear got stored inside your body. It didn't get processed, so it got stuck there, that fear. You now go out into the world and you see an ambulance, and that fear gets triggered, right? And so then you feel that anxiety, right? It's all up in your chest. So in therapy, we go back and we reprocess those memories. We talk about them in a safe place, slowly, compassionately, so that you can reprocess those thoughts instead of, this is scary, this is dangerous, I got to keep my son alive, to, that was scary, that was really hard, and we're safe now. And so when you see an ambulance, after repeatedly going through the work and the story and reprocessing it, you see an ambulance and you might look at it now and say, oh, there's an ambulance. I was in one once. That was scary, but we're safe now. We're okay.
And you know what I do after that too? I added something to it. Yeah. I say a little prayer. I just say, I hope everyone's okay.
Yeah.
Because I know what they're going through.
Exactly.
And how that's going to reverberate.
Yeah.
I say it out loud to my kids.
Yeah. Well, you're sending your strength, your courage to whoever it is that's inside that ambulance.
I'm sending good vibes.
You are.
I remember in therapy, this was after Casey's first seizure, when he was taken away in an ambulance and he was paralyzed. He had temporary paralysis from the seizure.
Yeah.
And coming back to therapy and talking to you about it, you said to me, this is what I want you to do. Go bake brownies or cookies or something and go to the local firehouse where that ambulance came from and ring the bell, which I never knew you could do.
Yep.
And you said, go and drop off the plate. And I did.
And bring Casey.
I brought the kids and I explained who we were and they were thrilled to have the baked goods. And I said, can we just see the back of the ambulance? Can you open? I'm not going to go inside. I don't want to just, can you open the doors? And we took pictures and it became a happy thing. And the kids were so young that they were excited. And Sam was 3 at the time, 4, and he loved the firemen, loved the ambulance.
Absolutely. Well, who doesn't?
Exactly. Right. So it was a really therapeutic way of closure for that period of time.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do.
When I think about that day too, making the brownies and they helped me make the brownies and dropping them off. And I explained to them why we were doing that. We're going to thank the people who helped us. And I've always been very transparent with them about going to therapy, that I'm doing this to talk, to work this out and to help with issues I may have. And this is why I go to therapy. And I think that has had, I want to believe, a positive thing on them too. Just giving thanks and gratitude, giving even small gifts, how important that is. But that also has come up too from season 1, looking back and also preparing for season 2. How important is it? And I don't do this all the time. I'm not perfect at all. I'm not the perfect mom, and I sure do not know everything. But how important is it for parents to model behavior for their children, especially in the food allergy community?
Absolutely, 100%. Our kids are connected to us. There's like that invisible string between parents and their children that never goes away. And as parents, we set the tone for our children and their lives out in the world. And so if you are experiencing fear continuously year after year, even after going through the program of allergens, of ambulances, of birthday parties, of restaurants, your kids are going to hold on to that fear because kids look to their parents as their guides for the world. Kids look to their parents to figure out what is safe, who is safe, what is okay, what's not okay. And if as a parent, you are continuing to send the message, the world is not safe, your child is going to be a ball of nerves. They aren't going to be able to fully live their life with freedom because they're taking their cues from you. The world is still not safe.
Dr. Randhawa, who founded the tolerance induction program here at the Food Allergy Institute, said to me when I started the program, promise me at the end of this, when Sam is in remission and he's living in food freedom, that you go back to your life pre-diagnosis. You stop reading labels. You stop checking if things are cross-contaminated because he's come out on the other side. And I have kept that promise to him. But I understand parents. Sam was 3 when he started the program. Yeah. He graduated when he was 5. So me, in the scope of a food allergy parent, I was only dealing with this for 5 years.
Right.
I have met through this program, from doing this podcast, parents 15, 20 years. Yeah. That is so much trauma to live through that to go back to that life pre-diagnosis must be very difficult.
Yeah. Well,
for a parent.
That is PTSD, right? Those parents are so traumatized by those 10 years, 15 years, whatever it's been, that they just can't freely walk into a restaurant and order off the menu without asking questions because the trauma is still there. The voice in their head is still saying, this isn't safe.
I really feel for those people. I get it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't because I'm not in that life, but I get it. I can
But
imagine.
in an empathetic way.
A very
absolutely.
empathetic way.
It's so scary to think, what if this is the one time that my child still has a reaction? But unfortunately, what happens is that then that child goes through the next 50, 60, 80 years of their life in fear. And so that child doesn't get to be an adult who lives freely. And so it's more crippling for the child than the parent even thinks.
Let's go back and talk about medication.
Medication is absolutely, to many people, it's one thing that they hold secret. Some people don't even tell their partners, their family about it. Because I think for so many years, medication was always taboo. I think the pandemic changed so much about mental health. So many people needed to seek therapy who never would have thought that they would ever have to do something like that. It was just, that's not for me, but they needed it, and medication as well.
I went on medication in 2017 because I was having so much anxiety. We talked about the Food Allergy Institute's program, the tolerance induction program, is not in a box. Right. Life still happens.
Right.
And as we just discussed, I had other traumas in addition to Sam's food allergy. But we all have, that's just my story. Right. Everyone has a story. Absolutely. I'm not special. Like this is happens to everybody. But things came to a head in 2017 because of all things I was moving. And I did not realize the stress of a move on top of everything. But it was just too much that I was having panic attacks and decided to go on Lexapro. And I have not had a panic attack since 2017. Yeah. But that was a decision that I worked with me and my doctor. And doing medicine couples with cognitive behavioral therapy with you was my ticket. And I know that's not for everybody. So it's something that I feel I need to be on to live my life to the fullest and to show up for the people that I love. Yeah.
Medication, all it really does is it allows, like Lexapro, it allows more serotonin, the happy, calming hormone that your body naturally makes. It allows for more of it to stay in your system rather than it being quickly reprocessed and funneled through your body. So it just allows for more serotonin to stay present in your body, which creates this calm feeling that allows you to live your life to the fullest. It has changed so many people's lives that were so resistant. People are very often resistant to medication because it has this, stigma. But when people try it and work with a licensed psychiatrist, very often doctors, gynecologists, primary care doctors will prescribe as well. But when you work with somebody who understands the medication and gives you the right medication and the right dose, it's life-changing.
It's completely changed my life. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to sit through a full episode of television without being anxious, and then suddenly my mind wanders, and then before you know it, I'm out the door. Right. I can sit and watch an episode of TV now with my family and enjoy it. Yeah. It's sad. It's really sad when I think about the years prior, if I have gotten on it sooner, how certain things might have been different. But I look at it as a dial. It hasn't changed me. I'm still the same thoughts in person, because I've heard that too. People are like, it's going to change me. It's just a dial.
Right. It turns the noise down.
Yes. I don't have to hit the ceiling every time.
It's,
I'm in the middle.
It's like a radio, right? And before medication, the volume was so high. And now it just brings it down a notch. So you can still hear and see everything that's going on around you, but the noise in the background is just turned down a little bit.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Rub it all over me.
Yeah. But you had a really positive response.
Yeah.
Because you worked with a good doctor who got the right medication, the right dosing, and it's changed your life for the better.
And I have a great therapist.
Thank you.
Combination, baby.
Yeah.
So looking back on season 1, what were some of the common themes that you've observed in the episodes that came out from the food allergy community?
I think the most prevalent theme that I heard repeated throughout the series was a need for control, feeling out of control. Mm-hmm. How that brought on fear for people. But mostly just, parents needing to feel some form of control, some way, somehow.
Which is why you pointed out that the tolerance induction program is so fitting for food allergy parents because it literally prescribes you with an action plan.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're in control.
Right. I say when I'm working with parents all the time on parenting issues that kids like to live in a box. Kids like to know what the rules are, where the boundaries are, when they've gone too far. And I think that the program provides that box for parents. These are the rules that we follow. This is the dose. This is when we give it. It's very, very methodical and lined out. There's no guessing.
It's true.
Right?
And it's rigid.
It's very rigid. And I think when parents are feeling so out of control and that the world is so scary, being able to live in that rigid box is a godsend.
And it's routine.
And it's just, it feels safe. And so I think that's one of the biggest gifts of the program is that it says, this is your box. This is your set of rules. This is what you follow, and you will be okay. Your child will be okay. And people need that.
Let's talk about resilience.
Mm-hmm.
What is your definition of resilience?
It's the ability to go through something really tough, to bend, but not to break, right? To be able to feel hard feelings, to be challenged and to be stretched, but to come out the other side and be okay.
It's having courage and being vulnerable. And it's not one or the other.
Right. So resilience is the ability to go through something really tough and to bend, but not break. It's being vulnerable and being courageous. It's not one or the other. It's an and. It's both of those things. And so when people are resilient, they have the ability to go through something really tough, really challenging, to really struggle, to really bend. But then they come out the other side and they're okay. And that's the most important thing when I'm working with parents in my private practice. It's getting parents to teach their children resilience, because that's a life skill. That's something that we all need as adults. And so that's why we don't give our children everything they want when they want it, because you want your children to struggle and come out the other side and say, I didn't get that cookie, but my life is still good.
Yes.
That's resilience.
Lesley, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
I have a feeling that there are some people out there that want to contact you. So tell us about your practice and how can we be in contact with you?
Sure. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in California. I have a private practice where I see clients both in person in Sherman Oaks and virtually across California. And if anyone needs support, please reach out to me. You can go to my website, which is laskerandassociates.com. And there are multiple ways on there for you to reach out to me.
Well, thank you, Lesley, for being here. Thank you so much for listening to this premiere episode of Season 2 of Resilience and Hope, a Food Allergy Podcast. We would love to hear from you. If you have any questions, other ideas for future episodes, please write us. Our email is resilienceandhopepodcast@gmail.com. And we have a social media handle. It's @Resilience and Hope Podcast. Please, if you can, wherever you listen to podcasts, give us 5 stars. Apple, Spotify, 5 stars will help our podcast be available and visible to other people looking for food allergy related podcasts. So please, if you can, give us 5 stars so other people out there can find us. And until next time, I'm Lesley-Anne Stone. The information shared in this episode is for educational and informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional mental health treatment or therapy. If you are struggling with your mental health or are in crisis, please reach out to a professional for support. You can call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline for free, confidential support 24/7. Help is available, and you don't have to go through it alone. Resilience and Hope podcast is made possible thanks to the support of the Food Allergy Institute.